Земля в иллюминаторе. Cash being thrown into a rover. Oh, you're doing it wrong. Oh my God. The guitar, like very sad prisoner song.
Oh, wow.
And in my mind, it was the greatest party of all time. You got to get some subscribers going here.
Oh yeah, I have to tell. Hallelujah! We have our new episode in our new room. We moved to the new house, so we have our own studio to record our podcast. Supersonic Talks! Woo! And I'm super happy to introduce our new amazing guest. She's so beautiful. She's talented. She's from Russia. Techno DJ Zlata.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can I say techno DJ, or do you consider yourself as a techno musician, or?
Yeah, I'm definitely a techno musician. I was many things musician before, but then when I grounded into techno, I was like, yeah, this is definitely me. My first EP, actually, the very first EP that I produced was very melodic and like All Day I Dream and all this feeling, and people would listen to it and go, oh, I wouldn't think that this is what you make. So, but now when I say I'm a techno DJ, the response I get is like, yeah, that makes sense.
You're growing up and like, okay, I'm gonna go harder.
Yeah. It just the BPMs keep climbing up. You know, every year I DJ, I climb with 1 or 2 BPMs.
You know, the question is always pumped up, or like, you understand what I mean? In my head, when I'm thinking about the DJ who playing techno music, like when you're like consistently you're playing a lot. How hard is it to playing techno like 2 times in a week, for example? I mean, this energy, like how loud is it? How fast is it? How groovy is it? Is it hard, or like it's a regular thing?
Ever since I started playing techno, I'm definitely playing less. And I'm also playing less gigs that are house or tech house or disco or something that you would just listen to in passing. I definitely started playing a lot more shows, but that was my intention. I made a lot of music that was techno. I made a lot of show ready music that it became a natural progression. But yeah, when I have 3 shows in a row, I'm definitely like, wow, I need to like go touch grass.
Like, do you have any like echo in your mind when you on your way to your home? And you just like it, and the music's still in your mind, still in your ears. You're like, oh, because I have, when I'm playing like a tech house in some very loud places, I'm going home, I'm not putting any music, nothing in my car, I'm just driving, and it's like silence, just
pulsating
like,
through your eardrums.
yeah.
I think where it catches up with me is mostly in production, because there was a moment during the winter when I was in New York. I made a lot of music. I made like 46 demos, and it was on purpose. I was really pushing myself. And by the end, I was at 142 BPM. I was getting ready for my show, and I was like, okay, this is officially too fast. Like, I have been in a 142 BPM environment, and I know that it's too fast. So I had to take a break from the BPM because it was getting out of hand. It was like getting way too fast. So that's where it catches up with me a lot.
So New York, is it your city for now, or like where you located, or where you feel yourself that it's like your home, or where is your heart is going?
Where's my heart going? I mean, we might be here all night discussing that. And what feels really good right now is actually to be on the road. I needed this additional agility exercise in order to get in productivity mode and like go getter mode. Go get it. And it has served me really well, because I think because I'm traveling so much and I'm in a new city. I was in New York for just 2 months. I'm here for a month. I go back, and then I go to Miami. There's this additional layer of chaos that I normally don't have. So now I don't create chaos in my life. Now, if I have like any drama that pops up, I'm like, oh, can't deal with this. Gotta go. I already have enough going on. Like, I just have to figure out where I'm staying tomorrow. So just gotta knock it out.
I think that, so I just want to tell to the people my first impression from you. So you have a very like big energy, and you have a very like big confidence that I'm feeling from you. like in the music, how you're playing, how you're talking to the people, how you're communicating. And let's tell people where you're from which city. Just the Russia is big, you know. You can be from Moscow, St. Petersburg, from Tatarstan, as I am from. But Zlata from the very far away Siberian city, which is like really, really far away from like the center of Russia. Tell in a few words where you're from.
I am from a small town called Magadan, which was originally created for prisoners of like basically government prisoners, right? If you were non-compliant with the Stalin regime, that's where you were sent. And it became a city of gulag. It became a plot of many songs sung during those times. So like a guitar, like very sad prisoner songs. So I grew up in an environment that was designed for conformity, that was designed to keep people in the box. And I was always a nonconformist, and sometimes to an extreme. So, and not many people even know where it is on the map in Russia. So anytime I say it here, people just have no idea.
Honestly, I know just it's far, that it's a Siberia, and it's far away from like Moscow, St. Petersburg. I mean, it's somewhere like not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that this like conservative tradition and culture of this city like impacts you in you as a person, as a musician?
I think it definitely shaped it. It's of course it has.
Yeah, in which way? I'm interested.
Yeah, I do not do well with conforming to a set of standard linear rules. This is how it is.
You have to do something like that.
I absolutely do not comply with that. I mean, when I was already that way when I was a kid in middle school, when they were like, "Oh, we now have uniforms." I'm like, "No, we do not." I staged a coup in school, and I was like, "Nobody is wearing a uniform here." And they were like, "Oh my God!" So we only wore a uniform part of the week because I was being so obnoxious about it.
So you were a fighter from the childhood, right?
Like rules for the sake of rules. Why? Who says? You know, but it's the same with music. It's like, oh, this is this or this is that. Who says? This is the way that you're going to succeed. Who says? This is the way that's going to work. Who says? You pave your own way. I think that has been really important for me to pave my own way through that. And then Magadan, people don't leave there.
You're the only one person who left Magadan.
You know, I'm the only person you met from there because I'm the only one who left.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, have I ever met people from Magadan? And the second thing, anyone from Magadan left to America? And I think maybe you are one of the 10 people.
I was one of the lucky ones who got out.
No, first of all, because to leave the Magadan, you have to have money. You to fly to America. I mean, it's technically hard, physically and hard to live, financially hard to live.
Yeah, my mom was a journalist, and she was making commercial films. You told me not to move the mic, so of course the first thing I did was move the mic.
Of course, you just want to be naked at the end of the episode, okay?
Of course. You got to get some subscribers going here.
Oh, yeah, I have to tell.
So, I forgot what you were saying.
About your mom was a journalist.
My mom was a journalist, and she was making commercial films at the far east of Russia, and my dad was a businessman who left to go to Magadan.
Yeah.
To Moscow, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And mom immigrated to Alaska because it's so close. So, and that's when I moved first when I was 16. So I was really lucky with my mom being the same way. She's also nonconformist. She's also a pave your way type of woman. So I had a really good example of that from a very young age. So
it's cool because when I'm thinking, do you want to use this pillow?
I'm good.
Because when I'm thinking about my mom, I always also thinking that my mom is a good example for myself, don't be afraid to express yourself, to be artistic and blah blah blah. So it's so cute that we have the similar thing.
Yeah. It took me a really long time to arrive at genuine friendship with my mom.
Yeah.
Because she did leave when I was a young teenager. I was a young teenage girl, and I really I think every woman needs her mom, right? And I really needed her at that time. And because I didn't immigrate until maybe 4 or 5 years after her, it was very challenging for me to to then deconstruct that later in life, and what was the impact, like with the boys, with money, with how I am with taking care of myself, with, you know, sometimes I'm very quick to leave situations because I'm like, oh, that doesn't work for me, I'm out. Right?
I'm sometimes I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah. So, and that's not always, you know, that's not always a good thing. Sometimes it's
sure.
worth it to just sit through the discomfort and listen why things are the way that they are, to really have curiosity about the other person and stay a little bit longer. But that used to happen a lot more, but now it's happening less and less the more I'm trusting myself. So I'm so happy that my mom and I are full circle, and we just had a family trip to Kazakhstan because of all the crazy war stuff. And, you know, like, I don't dare to go back to Russia right now. Not there's a reason, but just not really vibing with it. And we had a family trip, and it was me and my grandma and my mom and my aunt, all like 3 generations of women sitting on the couch just laughing. It was so healing. So
where does your grandmother lives?
She's in Nalchik, actually, in Russia.
Oh, wow.
I know.
It's Siberia as well, right?
No, it's right next to Sochi.
Oh my God, I'm so wrong. No, the Russia is big, that's why sometimes it's hard. Yeah, Nalchik, I just remember. Just want to say that, Igor, you can use this pillow and lay. Yeah. Tell me your first meeting with music, or introduction with music, or how does it happen that you're falling in love with music, with all this world?
Music world.
Yeah.
I started at a very early age playing piano, and my music journey is absolutely non-linear and not anything that I fell in love with right away. And I knew that this is going to be my path and this is what I'm doing. I actually have a really traumatic relationship with the piano to this day. I was telling you, when I produce, I cannot press the keys. I was professionally trained, classically trained. I played because I had to, and that was what we did. And it was deeply embarrassing because I was basically told to believe that I had no talent. I had no skill. I was never going to make it. I was like the worst kid in class. So I once wanted to go to music school, but then I'm the type of woman, I don't quit. Like, I don't quit. So I wouldn't quit. So for 8 years, I tortured all of my teachers who had, you know, all these rulers, and they were like, oh, you're doing it wrong. So I just did it wrong for 8 years. And then I got my diploma. I handed it to my mom, and I said, you'll never hear me play again. And I didn't play for years until teenage years or whatever. I have no idea who let me out of the house in my early teens because mom wasn't there. And I went to my first rave, and it was like, you know, trance and techno and whatever warehouse we were at. So it was my first introduction. I was like, this is really interesting. This is really cool. So I'm growing up.
How old you were?
I don't actually want to say it out loud, you know. I think I was maybe 13, 14, like no reason I should have been there. And that was my first introduction to the world of music in a warehouse setting. And I was trying to remember what they were DJing on, and I had to like almost put myself in a state of hypnosis and be like, what were they playing on? And all I could remember was a lot of wires. So I'm assuming they played like a modular set.
Oh yeah, like a live performance.
Because where in Magadan are they gonna get?
Oh, it was in Magadan.
Where in Magadan are they gonna get turntables? Right? Like who? No, they probably had some modular machine and some 303, and that was the party. You know what I mean? And in my mind, it was the greatest party of all time. You know? So that was a big introduction to the scene, the community. And my dad was a really big trance fan, Paul Oakenfold, and all these things. Yeah. So dad was really cool too, because he had a marketing agency when I was, you know, 13 at the time. He bought a factory that he converted into an office. Dad was way ahead of his time.
Felt like you had a very good life in Magadan. Like you had the rave, your father bought a factory, your mom is a journalist. Like your mom moved to Alaska. I mean, it sounds
we had a great life. And in Russia, you know, every so often you would experience a crisis, and the same in every country. And then my parents were really well off when I was growing up. And because like my earliest childhood memories, duffel bags of cash being thrown into a rover because there were no banks. So, and then when the market crashed, whenever it did,
Yeah.
like we had no money. Like I remember my mom scrambling for money, and
It was 90s.
it was
Like
2000s,
2000?
2000s. So, and that was like that dollar crisis. And dad had a very hard time with his mental health, and basically left for a few years, and mom was left to scramble. And she was like, you know what, the only thing I know how to do is I know how to be a journalist, I know how to be a teacher. I think I will make more money in journalism.
And you stay with your mom.
I did,
together.
yeah. I did, yeah. And so
that's how you met the music.
That's how I met the music. You know, that's how I met music.
When you understand that the music is your profession, that it's serious relationship, that is like something more than just a hobby for you.
When did I get
But
it?
when, yeah, like when, or it's still a hobby.
It's a hobby that's taking my whole life.
Where's my money? Just taking my money.
Yeah, just take my money. I may need to get a job to support my career. So when did I decide? When did I officially decide? You know, not
like decide, you just like had a feeling, because for example, I'm DJing like 4 years, but the first 2 years it was like really hobby. I was staying in my room, just me and the small DJ controller, and just like playing or for free at the park in San Francisco, or for free at some parties because I asked about it. But I mean, when you start get your first gigs, you're getting paid, you start like have booking outside of city maybe, or some cool clubs. How does it happen? Like what's happened?
What's happened? I have no idea what's happened.
You got good connections or whatever, but we're gonna talk about your social media later. We will talk
what
about
happened. How did it happen? Okay, I'll tell you exactly how it happened. I know exactly the moment.
Okay.
I went to Ibiza 2 years ago. You know it's going to be a good story when somebody starts their story with when I was in Ibiza. I went to Ibiza 2 years ago, and I was already DJing for 2 years. I started DJing 10 years ago, but then I quit, and then this was like the official restart. And I was also playing a lot of house parties and this and that. And when I was in Ibiza, I looked around and I went to every single party I could possibly go to. And I was sitting in the Ibiza airport taking a flight to Lisbon, and I was so immensely focused on writing down my goals, how I'm going to commit to being a DJ. I probably can find that Instagram story in the archive, that I missed my flight in front of the gate. I was manifesting so hard that I'm actually going to give this a serious shot, that I missed my flight. And since then, a lot of really incredible things happened. When I came back from Ibiza, I really took production more seriously, and I really started developing my unique style, because, you know, in LA or in my circles, you just kind of, and I played a lot of Burning Man parties too, so it's like everybody kind of has a similar sound, and it's like this permanent Burning Man come down music, and everybody's kind of playing the same thing. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, I really want to find my style, my vibe, my gift, my way of communicating what I feel through the speakers to people, and give them an experience that they never had before of whatever is happening in my world, which is actually, if you think about it, such a selfish way of relating, right? Like, I am a tastemaker, I made this, and you should like it because I think it's good. It's crazy. If you think about DJing, you're like, I don't mean to impose anything on you, but I kind of am. You know, like, there's definitely, in all of my sets, there's definitely a message. Like, I show up with something very specific to say, and if you're paying attention, you will get it.
Every 100% of your sets is with a message?
Like 100%. Every set is going to have a message.
I'm not going to say that I have 100% of my sets with the messages. Sometimes, yes, but sometimes not.
Sometimes you're just playing.
Sometimes I'm this kind of DJ that you said.
I'm just like imposing.
I'm just going to play whatever I'm going to play. Just appreciate.
You are welcome. I have curated this for you.
I just like, maybe if I don't have a message, I have the vibe or I have the mood that I want to deliver to the people. It's like something more lighter than the message. Like,
I mean, mood makes sense.
Like
look at this
like
setting,
some hook,
right? Like look at this setting. This is the mood. That's the vibe. I'm here.
it's not finished. It's not finished yet. We need like some
never
more
finished.
art.
It just stops. It stops in an interesting place. Nothing is ever finished.
I saw on your Instagram that you gonna play at the big festival. I have a very bad memory. Remind me the name of this festival.
Which one?
The big one that will be in March.
Elements is happening in August, which I'm really excited for.
Oh, yes, in August. That's what I was thinking. I said that I have a bad memory. In August, that it's so far away. I was surprised that they announced in January the lineup, right?
They announce in
December?
waves. They announced for the first wave and then the second wave.
Yeah. So tell me about this festival, where it will be, which city or state, what the vibe.
So Elements is an amazing festival. There's over 20,000 people that go every year, and they curate 20,000 people. 20,000. And they have all these like different stages that are fire, air, water, because elements.
Oh, wow.
And
where?
It's in Long Pond in Pennsylvania, but it's like 40 minutes from New York City. You're welcome to come.
Do I have a pass?
We'll figure it out.
Lighting in the bottle. I'll give it to
Yeah.
No, I would love to. It sounds. Do you know how many stages? 4 stages.
If I'm not mistaken, 4 stages
for 20,000 people.
4 elements. So there's elements, right? And then they have a renegade stage.
Like Avatar, water, air, like this.
Fire.
Yeah. And Земля.
Земля в иллюминаторе. Земля в иллюминаторе. Земля в иллюминаторе видна. Как сын грустит на матери. You guys, that is a very old song from like an old Russian movie, Soviet movie.
I want to say that me and my boyfriend, so I have an American boyfriend. Yeah, because of happiness. We watched the movie. I forgot the name of this movie, but the idea of it, that two like cosmic team, a space team from Russia and from America, they're going to the one ship, like international ship, and going to the space. Like they're like super nice.
You just mentioned like 90 movies.
Why
not? Like a preface of like 90 movies. Because I feel like the American Academy, no offense, it's always like, oh, space movie must be the Russians and must be the Americans.
Like no, the idea why, of course, why they took these two countries, because the conflict, like the
obviously
English, like
propaganda.
No. I mean, in the script thing, like, so this movie, so two teams from America and from Russia going to one ship to the space. They're friends. They're like having fun, drinking vodka, blah blah blah. And after that, both of the team got the message from Russia and from America that the war was started, and they just like see through the spaceship from the window that the whole like Earth in the fire, like bombs and stuff like that. And they got the same message from each country that they have to like kill each other, and they start doing it in the spaceship. it was crazy. And two actors was from Russia in this movie, like real Russian actors. And it was so much fun because they speak Russian and they speak English, and we just watched with my American boyfriend. It was so much fun. The movie is a little bit like it wasn't a big fan, but the idea, it was cool.
Lisa, you have to understand, stop inviting me to your gigs and start inviting me to your movie nights.
No, it's
this
not.
This sounds like a really interesting movie. I want to be
the idea is interesting, but I didn't like some of the moments of this movie, but it was fun that they took this idea, like Russian, American, like fighting to each other again, like whatever.
I hope that at some point, like, we can just like end this story. Like, it's such an old story. I'm already done with the story. Can we like all get along? Russians and Americans.
No, whatever. Fuck that. I'm Tatar. I'm kidding. No. The one of the most interesting thing that I want to talk about it's your social media. We know
that's the most interesting thing.
No, honestly, like, when I meet the people, they're always saying like, "Oh, your social media is so good," blah blah blah, which is it's good, but it's not as good as it could be. but your social media is very interesting, very successful, and I want to talk to you about it. Tell me, it was in your mind that social media is a very like powerful tool in the like for the artist nowadays? Like, did you plan it? Like, did you think about it? Or just want to tell you guys, so Zlata has a million views on her Instagram reels, which is cool. It's not just one video. It's how many videos? Like
probably
every videos. So tell me how it's happened that the first video became like a million views, got the million views.
I first started on TikTok last year, and
it came from TikTok.
It came from TikTok. So my social media strategy came from TikTok, and it came literally from just not knowing what I was doing, but I was committing to posting every single day on TikTok until I figure it out. And then because I was so lazy, I was like, I'll just take a video of myself dancing at a party and say something stupid, and I will use this cool song because that's all I had. The you know, like you're laying there in bed at midnight and you still don't have to go anywhere. So my conscience would eat me, and I was like, oh, I have to post something. So just post those silly memes. And it's amazing to me how much conversation they start, because people are like, you're everything that's wrong with the industry. And some people are like, oh, I love it. It's so amazing. I want to do that. Oh, can you party with me? And it's like, no, look at another girl just filming herself. It stirs up so much controversy. And it comes with like some ridiculous comments, but you know, you could just take the
fuck off.
Oh, it's the comments could be ridiculous. Yeah. And
how it's happened that you got like you just waking up in the morning and see that you have 1,100 views, or how it's happened?
I mean, I started going viral with a very specific format of the video, like those meme videos. Yeah. But the reason I even started the whole thing is because I was making so much music, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to start my TikTok now, and in a month I will be posting my music, and that will be the main avenue for me sharing my music. Well, what happened was I started making more music, but none of it I actually really wanted to share.
Yeah.
So it just so happened that what I was sharing were the memes, and they were going viral, and they just catapulted the entire journey to the universe. And then because it catapulted the journey to the universe, I started signing the music. But when your music is signed, you can't necessarily start throwing it up on TikTok. So here I am a year later with a strategy I never intended to be a strategy that's somehow working out to be a strategy. So here we are. There was no careful engineering behind the scenes. I just committed to doing something every day, and I naturally started doing more of what was working, right? And I was very specific with my Instagram. On my TikTok, I share a lot about behind the scenes of being a DJ, how to get started to be a DJ. I don't post any of that on Instagram because it is not a place where I feel good sharing it, because this is more of my
represent yourself,
my business card, my representation. And I don't feel like I want to share it on there. That's for my music, that's for the character that I'm creating, that's for the message that I want to share. And TikTok is everything behind the scenes that I'm like, I don't care, I'll just throw that up on there.
How many followers do you have on TikTok?
I have almost 30K now, and but I reach anywhere between like at the lowest 600,000 people a month to like 3 million.
It's big.
My Instagram does 3.5 a month. So it also really helped me see how many people actually bought their followers, because I'm at maybe 19,000 followers now, but I have millions and millions and millions of views. So it's like, it's very interesting to see the truth now, because I've never bought a follower in my life. So
I think your followers are growing up day by day because of the reels, right? Because you said that you have like 9,000 a few months before, and right now you twice bigger.
We updated my EPK from November. I think it was maybe November 20th that we did it, and I just sent the edits last week, and I grew from 9,000 to when we're sitting down today, I think it's like 19,700 or something like that. So 10,000 in 3 months. And what I'm noticing, it's getting faster, right? Like the 10K was hard. And then when I hit 18, I think the 10,000 happened in 2 weeks. So it's happening really quickly. Yeah. So I'm really excited for it.
Did you analyze like the secret of this real success? Like what people catch in these videos, why they like these videos, why it's like
I think they're relatable.
Catch attention. Like maybe like what are you saying, like writing the sciences touch people, or why it's interesting? Like it's really simple, just like put yourself how you dancing, put some interesting like phrases, like some silly words, and it worked, right? Like why, how?
I think because when I look at the real myself, if I don't find it funny, if I don't find it, if I don't chuckle, and if I don't go, that's funny, I don't post it. You know, like I'm like, yeah, that's blah, that's bland. And I'm making my content, that type of content, I'm making specifically for them, to make someone laugh, to like, it's a light moment in someone's day. I'm not there to give a message. Like I'm not there with my agenda, you know. It's just very light and very just something that I can think that somebody can relate to and laugh at. So what I don't do anymore, I don't stir like genre drama. I don't go, oh, this psych trance is this, or this track is this, or like house versus techno, because
I don't like this kind of stuff.
It gets a ton of views, it gets the conversation going, but then you just have the rave scene split and divided, and that's not necessarily what we're here for. I thrive for my message on those memes to be very inclusive,
having fun
and having a really good time and making friends. And, you know, like the other day I posted, I was like, hey, look, is it just me, or did location TBA led you to more places that you wouldn't even go with a gun? You know what I mean? Like, and everybody has been to that party where location was TBA and you're climbing through, you know, like tunnels or something, and you're like, how did I even get here? This is crazy. So
how you created these jokes? It's just like something inspire you, or you just like walking in, something got in your head? How you creating these funny things?
I think it's the Zeitgeist of starting to do it, where somebody will comment something, and they, like, one of my most successful videos that got like I think 5 or 6 million views is was a comment that somebody left on my TikTok, and I just remade that comment into another video. And it was like, you know, there was one of me that is at a rave, and there's another me that wants to go to yoga, and I wish they would coordinate their schedules. That meme is a TikTok comment from somebody who commented. It wasn't necessarily even my idea. It just escalated very quickly from that joke. And, you know, TikTok community is really inclusive and mostly kind to each other. So they will comment a lot, and they will say something that I'll go, yep, I'm definitely making that into another video. So
no, it's so cute. And I sometimes I read the comments of the people that are very like very active, you know. They just like comments like hee hee ha ha, like very, very active. It's just super cool. Do you think that these reels gave you, like, the big gigs gave you the more attention?
Absolutely.
Did you see the effects of it?
I'm seeing it every day. I didn't see it for the first year at all.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it for the first year at all. And I feel like TikTok is a very controversial conversation still in the music industry. It is an excellent discovery platform. I do think it's going through another renaissance right now. And last year it was like, oh, you know, your TikToker should spend less time making videos and spend more time making music. And that was the general consensus of what I was doing from very like industry heavy people. But industry heavy, but you know what I mean? Like from the old heads that are in the industry.
Nothing but.
And this year I am receiving a whole different side of the industry.
You know
and
why?
How it's treated. Because there are actual results that are translating to tickets, that are translating to comments, that are translating to to followers, that are translating to these people are actually going to listen to your music. I started
this visibility, more visibility.
It's way more eyeballs. And I started a newsletter for the people who want to be in the community. I started a broadcast. Like yesterday, I posted about my big show with Eli Brown in New York. Guess what my community did? The first thing they did was they ran into the Avant Gardner comments and they were like, oh, we're so excited to see Zlata. We're so excited to see this. We're so excited to see that. I know for a fact that was taken. The note was, it was noted, and it was noted by the right people, and I'm sure it's going to bring the right opportunities. So it became a community builder without my intention for it to be a community builder. And I'm super grateful, because I think it's only going to continue growing. My hope is it's going to continue growing, and it's really nice to even see the same people in comments, and they're getting tickets, and then somebody's like, oh, Eli Brown show is sold out, and they've been following me for 8 months. I'm like, homie, I think I can get you, you know what I mean? And now I'm like talking to them, and they're like, no, it's sold out, dude. Chill.
Tell me about this show with Eli Brown that you're playing in New York, right?
Yeah.
How is it? Because he's a big techno DJ, right?
Yes, I'm a huge fan.
How it's happened? How they book you?
I'm going to tell you a crazy story how Eli Brown show happened.
Crazy story.
I'm going to tell you a crazy story how Eli Brown show happened. Okay, first of all, I'm through and through fangirl. Like through and through. I played Believe, one of his tracks, an absurd amount of time last year, to the point where I started playing it again, and I was like, okay, I need to remix the song because this is getting ridiculous, right? Like this is getting out of hand. I need to make an edit of this. And on January 7th, they announced that he is going to be at Avant Gardner playing a show on April 13th. And what I did, I was texting with my girlfriend, and I said, April 13th, Avant Gardner, backstage like it's a religion. And she commented and she said, for sure, this is happening. And then I said, I want to be on that lineup. And I said it with such conviction. I was like, I want to be on that lineup. And then she's like, go for it. So what I did, I screenshot the flyer, and I legit just put my name on the flyer. And I was like this close. I was inches close to sending it to my connection at Brooklyn Mirage and being like, hey, fixed your flyer. But I didn't, because I was like, okay, I just met this guy. It's a really bold move, and I really wasn't ready for a move that bold quite yet. So I just left it, and I was like, you know what? Eventually it will happen. Maybe it won't happen this year. It's likely it's not going to happen this year, but it will just be in the ether. And then the way that show came about is a total manifestation. I don't know another way. It was like magic
to explain it.
It was magic, because I sent Arcane, his label, a track. They rejected the track, and then at the same time there was a whole behind scenes thing happening with the Brooklyn Mirage booking, and I was sitting there and I was like, they can only reject me one time today. They cannot reject me twice. It just would be rude. So, and it was magical, honestly. There was I cannot describe it in any other way other than God winked at me. And that show is now opening a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities. And my community is so active. And they're like, we can't wait to see this. So I'm really excited.
I would love to go to New York and see this show right now, because it sounds very...
Well, it's me. It's Bart Skills. It's Anava. It's Eli Brown. It's the lineup is insane. And I know that, okay, my slot's an opening slot, but the show has been sold out. And it's the talk of the town. So I know that I'm going to open with a crowd there. And I just cannot... I couldn't even contain my excitement. I needed to do an announcement. You know how when you do your announcement, you're trying to be cool. You're like, so I will be joining this insane lineup.
But you did this kind of announcement.
And then I just started laughing, because I was like, I seriously can't be cool. I can't play it cool. I'm not excited.
I watched your announcement in the story. You were cool.
But you just didn't see it.
Who they?
I
did. I saw that.
So, and I couldn't be cool. be cool, just be mysterious. I'm playing with Eli Brown and Bart Skills. And I was like, I can't be mysterious. I'm like trying not to like puke at the same time as I'm laughing, you know, just, it was crazy. Like, it's crazy. He's my biggest like inspo from last year and in music in general.
So cool. We have Elements in August. We have Eli Brown in which months?
April,
and we have a new release in March.
We have Femme House release in March with Insomniac. We have
how does it happen? How it happened?
Femme House?
Yeah, that you got this release that Insomniac signed you. So tell the story.
You know that
one more magical
another magical manifestation. To be honest, okay, this is gonna be so honest. I saw my. So I'm a big fan of LP. I absolutely love her style. I respect her so much.
Her impact to music industry.
I respect her so much as a producer. I respect her so much as a DJ. I think LP has done incredible things to move women forward. Femme House initiative last year graduated 7,000 new female DJs.
No way.
And the year before that, it was 2,000. So they are taking quantum leaps towards creating more women in the industry that will create an impact, and they're actively signing more women. And when I had the opportunity to meet her, when I had the opportunity to meet her team, I already had tracks that have been rejected from every major label. I went through 4 months of rejection after rejection after rejection. People, they would reject me without even listening to my music. And I'm pretty sure my TikTok did not help because I was emailing some very serious...
Because the people who are on the other side, they're pretty old, they're not watching TikTok.
I think they're set in their ways, and I've been very lucky to encounter people along the way that are seeing the power of social media and are appreciating it. So, and Femme House and Insomniac team were one of those people who really appreciated not only my social media presence, but of course the music, because it's all about the music. Like, I can be funny all day long, but do I make really good music? Yes, I do. So with them, I sent them multiple tracks that I thought would be a good fit. And I had made a lot of melodic music over the last 2 years because I was going through a serious transformation, and the song is so beautiful. It's called Looking for the Light. It's an incredible German singer, and she's so soulful, and it's that perfect combination of dark and light, and they really loved it, and they gave it a chance. And then over the last, the next 4 months, the journey with them unfolded, and I'm really excited to be with them. When I got the email that I signed the track to Femme House and Insomniac, I screamed. I was on a walk because I go walk every day. I was on a walk. I was in East Village in New York, where 2 years before that, a man broke my heart. He was like, "You will never account to anything. You will never be anything. You lied about who you were, da 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 da." I was literally on that street that we used to live on, and I got the email from Insomniac. I broke. I screamed, and these two women were like, "Is this a good scream or is this a bad scream?" And I was like, "This is absolutely a good scream." And I started crying, and then they hugged me, and it was a moment.
And they're crying too with you.
And they were crying, and we were all crying. It was, it wasn't without the drama. There was some drama there. So,
we're very excited. What's the name of this track?
Looking for the Light.
Looking for the Light. So what the genre is it?
It's melodic house.
Close to, like, was it techno groove? Is it techno drums or like melodic?
No, it's a melodic house track. It's a melodic house track. It was one of the it is the first track that I finished, and I said, I actually really want people to hear this outside of my room. And it's a beautiful song. I really love that song. I'm really excited to play it. I'm really excited to share it, and yeah.
We're excited as well to listen it, and this podcast I think will be like in the end of March or April, but so it's the time when we can listen it on Spotify or Apple Music. Yeah. So you produce a lot of songs, and I want to listen like your experience with the labels, how you sending the tracks, how how you managing these feelings when you, as you said, rejecting one track by other track, and how you handle it, how you trying to find like other labels, like how does it work for you? Do you have any like specific methods how you sending the tracks? Or
well, the way that I work with labels is I look at it from more of a business standpoint, because I go, where can I bring value and does it align with their sound? So I'm not sending something to Armada that's not a good sound for them. I'm not sending something to Eli's team that's not a good fit for them. So I take a lot of time to listen through the catalog and really understand where the sound is going. And then I craft a really to the point email. And I like to add a little bit of substance there. Like I created this track when I was feeling this way, and it gave, for example, Looking for the Light. When I sent it, I said, you know, this track is a reminder of a feeling when you are in depth of chaos with yourself, and this is the light at the end of the tunnel. So it's a little bit poetic, because you know you do what you can when you're trying to get signed, and then, you know, I add a little bit about social media, what I would be able to do for promo. For Looking for the Light, I had already shot a YouTube video for it. I already had an audience on TikTok. I already had an audience on Instagram. So I came in.
You provide the whole email like to the people, not just like sending the demo and like, hello, my name is Zlata, enjoy the music. So you provide the whole like description, like introduce yourself.
Yeah, I just think about what I want to read on the other side of it. If I'm the A&R at LP's label and I get a song and it's like, listen to my track. Okay, cool song, bro. But if I look at it at an email and it's, okay, this is the track is great. What is it about? Oh, wow, okay, a little bit poetic. You know, I'm Russian. You can't take it out of us. And then I'm not going like full Pushkin on this or anything, but, you know, maybe I should start, you know, writing poetry to A&Rs that have rejected my tracks, and just, oh my God, that would be really funny. Don't dare me. And then I'm like, okay, and then I have value that I can bring because I can actually promote it, which is not what every other DJ or artist can actually offer. So the music is good and the support is good. So I want it to be a win-win for them and a win for me, because if you win together, that's how you go further.
How's your relationship with the labels? Because like in my experience, I have a very different, from the good experience till the like worst and the bad experience. So do you still feel the point to be signed by a record? Because I know some musicians that can releasing by themselves. What the bad and good side that you experience with the labels, like for today?
I think the worst side with labels is when they reject your track without listening to it. And then they go, this is not a good fit for us. And I go, I can see that you didn't even hear it. How is it not a good fit for you? That just makes me think, am I not a good fit for you? Then just say that. Like, we don't like you. You're like, I don't get your jokes or something. I don't know. Or like,
I don't like your TikTok.
I don't like your TikTok. I've seen your face. It's not it. You know, it's just, that drives me bananas. I'm like, because I know that some labels play the rejection game just to reject you a couple times. So then when you get in, you feel somehow chosen. I have surrendered I've surrendered any like pick me energy, like pick me. I really need this. I don't. I know my music is great. I know where I'm going. I know how we're going to get there. I know that people will show up. I know magical things will happen, and it'll be a win. And I don't need to be like chosen by a label so I can have a group of homies that will put me in.
So you know the price of yourself, you know, like your work, your quality, and you just like confidence. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm from Magadan.
I'm still Russian, honey. Come on. I started this interview in jacket, you know? Very good. It took me a long time to make something I wanted to show to someone. And until I'm fully aligned that this track is great, and no matter what is said about it, I don't care, that's when I will send it. So I just got a rejection today. And it was like, this is just not for us because stylistically we don't sign blank. And I was like, oh, okay. But the first email that he sent me was, no, not for us. And I said, do you mind giving me a little bit of feedback? Is it like the mix, the low end, the theme, the character? Yeah. Because, and then I over communicated, in the future, when I send you music, I know you're insanely busy. I just want to send you things that you like. And then he gave me a context of what he's actually looking for. Nice. So instead of treating a label or an A&R as an adversary, I want to understand how I can get on their team, what they're looking for, so then I just don't waste their time or my time.
As I understand, you put the label not like you're looking at them like that. You just put at the same like level. You like equal with the label, not like they're... You understand what I mean?
I know what you mean. I mean, we're all in this together.
Like
this is
50-50.
Music is a team sport.
Like honesty, yeah.
Music is a team sport. We don't get anywhere without the team, without the help of the people. So they're not going to be where they are without musicians. We're not going to be where we are without them. So it only made sense to me that I wouldn't be wasting their time with half-baked music, and I expect that they would not waste my time with a half-baked response. So... And when I was able to embody that energy, that's when I signed all of my music. But when I was going, excuse me, can I have a little bit of a signing over here? It was the same music. They were maybe even the same people, but the answer was still no. So I had to get in alignment with myself. I had to like my music. I had to like what I was making. I had to be proud of what I'm creating. I had to be proud of my silly TikToks. I'm like, okay, they're silly, but I like them, you know? And that's when things really started happening, when I really got aligned with that.
It's so interesting. I'm gonna like rewatch this speech from you and just keep in mind, because I'm this type of person that just like sending tracks and not like communicating, asking like one more questions, like I need your feedback and stuff like that, which is, I think it's very smart, as you said. I mean, it's smart.
I learned it from somewhere. I learned it from a girlfriend of mine who's been signed to some major labels, and I asked for her best success practices, and she said,
no one told me like that.
I like to over-communicate. And I like to overshare a little bit, because what's the worst that's going to happen? They're still going to say no, but at least I have a relationship with them, and I can they can see the journey and the progression, you know. And there are some labels that will give you feedback, and there are some labels who are never going to respond to you and give you any feedback, and that's okay. Let's, you know, realistic expectations there. Some will be generous and some won't be, and that's okay.
Do you like how the record labels working with you? I mean, when they sign your track, like how they doing promos and the sharing, like the money, how it's called, the money from the track,
the royalties.
Yeah, the royalties.
So I think I'm the only person in the world who has sent an email to a label and said, this is what I actually need from you outside of the artwork. And I did it because I legitimately needed it, right? And I thought that we could tackle something as a joint venture. And the response has been great. I've had some response of like, nobody's ever asked us this, or we don't do that, but in general they've received it with open arms, because I said, you know, I have an idea to do it like this.
Yeah.
And I'm actually really excited to pitch an idea. So this is an example of how I think.
Yeah.
So I'm on a compilation with Femme House and Insomniac with a lot of incredible women, and you can stitch a bunch of TikToks, right? Like you can stitch like, oh, we're in Femme House together. Like, I'm so excited that we're all working together to release something. So I don't know what ideas they have coming up, but I'm just going to pitch their team a couple things that we could all do together in order to get more awareness about the release. And nobody really does it. So I really go an extra mile, and I think how it can be a win for them, for me, and everybody on the compilation. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But at least we tried.
I wanna ask you. I wanna talk two more topics with you. The first thing, you already mentioned that the track, the name of the track, lighting in the
Looking for the
light. You were inspired by your breaking up with your boyfriend, right or not? Am I right?
I was inspired. I was not inspired. The track is about not being inspired.
I mean, opposite of inspiring.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's still inspiring.
It's about rock bottom. Yeah.
Tell me, what is it to be a beautiful, adorable, girl DJ in New York, playing the music at the underground events, and also how's your like dating situation is going? How is it like to managing the things with guys who are trying to
slide into the DMs? My DMs are wild. I have to say one thing. Like, the DMs are wild.
Do you have any relationship right now, or?
I'm not. I'm dating music at the moment. I'm dating my story. You know, I spent a really long time single after my last relationship, and I immediately committed to not dating anyone in the industry. I'm like, I don't want to date a producer. I don't want to date a DJ. I don't want to date in the industry. And
I agree.
And it just seems that it just will get really complicated. But you do get to date somebody who also has a flexible schedule. But my one non-negotiable is like, you have to love house and techno. You have to love house and techno. It's just, if you don't get it, there's a big part of my life that you're not going to understand, because there are tracks that shape the year. There are tracks that shape your life. There are parties that shape your life. And it's important to me, you know? So that's one thing that's definitely like at the top of the list. And I caught myself on this thought the other day that the reason I'm not dating is because I wanted to truly be 100% aligned with my journey, with my path as a woman, where I was going, what I wanted, how I wanted it. And while this has been the most unstable on the outside I don't necessarily have a home. I don't have a stable salary.
You have traveling, like
I
geeks.
have so much travel. This is the most unstable I've ever been, but this is the most mentally, emotionally, in my heart, stable I actually have ever experienced myself to be. So
you wanted it so like not so bad, but you really wanted it. It was your goal, like to start traveling, have gigs like in New York, in Miami, and be free. And
I also didn't want outside input. When I'm in love, I am so dilly-dally, and I'm very porous, and I listen to opinions, and I'm like, oh yeah, I think that's great. I really wanted to be grounded in what I was doing, so I couldn't be swayed off my path. And I feel really good. Like, I feel like I'm really coming to that place now, to where I feel much better about it. But yeah, dating has been like completely off the table.
So
DMs are tempting though. There's like dinners and jets and all this stuff.
So if someone
suggests
you to take you for the dinner, you're down with that? No dinner, no dinner. Drinks.
Send a Venmo. Slide into my Venmo. I am really not impressed by sliding into the DM. Slide into the Venmo. I'm going to put a little handle at there you go.
Musicians need financial support, please, guys. So
no, it's my way of doing it. Don't ask me to dinner, just Venmo.
One more thing that I know about you, like very interesting, that you did a lot of times ayahuasca. To be honest, it was 12 times. Tell me, what is it? Who is it? The person who did 12 times ayahuasca? How it's changed you? Did it help you, or like how it changed your life, especially in the music terms? Why you did 12 ayahuasca? Why?
Who does this?
who responsible for that, guys?
Well, nobody goes to ayahuasca because they feel really great about themselves. And
so
this is like a spa appointment.
Your first ayahuasca was because you felt yourself like...
my first ayahuasca journey was a result of feeling very empty, even though I was very accomplished on the outside. So my first business was in fitness. I was one of the first people who ever started doing online fitness coaching when Instagram first started. So I've been like in the Instagram game for some time. And I had built that business. I'd written a book. I had a podcast. I had a lot of people listening. And when I separated from that business, I was feeling very, very empty, because a lot of my identity had to do with, I'm the CEO of this business. I'm Miss Bodybuilder. I've, won all these titles. And then all of it was gone. intentionally, like that's what I intended it to do. I intended to build something.
It wasn't yours. You felt that that's something different.
And I wanted something different. And when I moved on, I didn't know who I was without job, career, money, Lexus, you know, my fancy loft apartment. And I had to like
restart yourself.
I had to really jumpstart my journey to self-discovery, and ayahuasca really helped me to do that. My first journey was in Peru. I did it proper. I sat with the Shipibos. I wasn't
sounds like a very good ayahuasca, not like in some
you know, I didn't want to be like I didn't want to be like, hey baby, come do ayahuasca with me in my mansion. No, I sat with the Shipibos in Peru. I sat with Mayan Peruvian shamans in Mexico. I sat in Costa Rica. I sat in very traditional environments, in very traditional teepees and very traditional way of understanding the medicine and relating to the medicine and being with what's there. And every time I do a journey, every time I partake in it, I feel like I discover a new part of myself that I'm now excited to meet in a more intimate way.
Yeah.
And one of the most amazing things that I have learned from one of the shamans is everybody in your life is somebody that you're weaving with. So like you're weaving a sweater, right? Like, so I'm weaving with you, I'm weaving with the team. And it's very important that those people are in integrity. They're honest, they're aligned, you having fun with them, you're enjoying them, because then I weaved with you, you go weave with someone else, and now that's also a strand of my energy. So I'm very conscious about who I surround myself with and who I weave with, because I'm very aware that that frequency always returns. And that's probably one of the most profound experiences that I can relate in this dimension and in words. So that was really helpful.
How's changed you as a music artist? Does it change you? Like, is it open you, like, some more music halls from you, you know, like, did you start to feel music more deeper than you did it before, or?
You know, I started my ayahuasca journey with an identity that I had no talent, that I was not a musician, that I was a business person, and this was the thing that I was doing. And it took 13 ayahuasca journeys. I'm just like, we're talking like other, you know, I experimented. I've blasted myself into the universe a couple times. And it took me that long to really peel back the identity and truly go, wow, I could be an artist.
Yeah.
And there's something here that I want to pursue. There's a vision here. There's an understanding of myself that I'm excited to discover. And then, you know, there are a lot of earthly tools like the artist way that was really helpful in uncovering that. So it's a continuous journey. And the more I sit down in my DAW and I explore sounds, the more I create sets, the more I create, the more I want to create, and the more I get the feeling of art and the texture of what it feels like to be an artist. So I'm really excited to continue on the journey.
So as I understand, the ayahuasca help you to build a connection with yourself, like
Correct.
More deeper and deeper. So if some like other artists watching right now, so I'm pretty sure you had a lot of like ups and downs in your like music career. I'm pretty sure we still have like some struggling
today.
Like problems today and tomorrow, every day, but we still fighting with that. We still like going through and stuff like that. How you motivate yourself not to giving up, like to fight for the truth, for what you believe?
I breathe a lot, to be really honest. I take a lot of deep breaths, because it's like, okay, I function from a place of this has already happened. I'm already a star. I'm already super successful. I'm already playing all these festivals. This is already happening. I already have my own label. I already have my own vision. I'm executing on this. I'm helping women. I'm teaching them how to, you know, all of these things have already happened in some other dimension. Let's just pretend that. Let's just try it on. And how do I act from that place? Not somebody who's trying to like get there and arrive there and get picked by a label and get, you know, and just climbing. I more so look, okay, this already happened. How would I be acting if I knew that this was already 100% with certainty the truth?
Yeah.
And on really hard days, when everything is falling out of my hands, where nothing is working in the DAW, or, you know, vocals came in late, or this is delayed, or the massive, you know, there's a lot of stuff, or, you know, the show got pulled from under you or something like that. I just go, okay, this
Let's
or
breathe.
better. This or better. This is going to get better. I don't get to be defined by my failures. I get to be defined how I got up and what I did. And that helps a lot. And, you know, if anybody wants to be in the music industry and really dig in, you got to learn how to ride the roller coaster, because at 11 a.m. you're getting signed by this person. By noon you get this show. By 1 you got rejected from this. By 2 o'clock this fell through. By and it's a continuous journey. So I breathe a lot, and I take really good care of myself, and I try every day to take better care of myself, because it's truly needed. It's truly necessary.
I absolutely agree with you. I just talked today with some other person about how do we feel ourselves living in LA, not just like as a musicians, but in general living in LA, because one day you get some chance to be somewhere or to do something, like in the few hours you're like super down because something is like ruined and stuff like that. And as you said, I feel myself like absolutely the same. That's a roller coaster, and that's why I'm trying to like find like some balance, not to be super happy and excited and like screaming if something good happened that I wanted, because like, okay, just yes, of course I'm happy, of course I appreciate what's like happened right now, but just calm down, like relax, because we don't want to go super down when something bad happened, you know, like just like trying to find the balance between these ups and downs. And because before, like a few years ago, I was like, oh yeah, we did it, and after that something bad happened or something, I'm like, oh. So I don't want to feel myself super down, so I'm trying to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I said in the silent retreat a couple years ago, and the word that was always taught and talked about was equanimity. And equanimity is total neutrality towards something great and something not great. And I come back to that practice every day. Equanimity. Something good happened, great. Something not great happened, great. Because otherwise I am just addicted to dopamine of good and bad, and I'm at mercy of things that are happening around me, not necessarily being at the center of my own life and at the center of creating my own reality. So, and that's really important to me. What's my center? What do I believe in? What am I going for? If that's not happening, then something better is coming. Oh, thank you for protecting me. I really appreciate that. I'm really grateful. Sometimes it's hard to do, but that's the only option. So you just take a deep breath and move forward.
I love it how you said. I love it so much, and I hope your like our interview, our podcast with you inspired like other young people, artists, musicians, producers to like maybe look at their like music journey from the other angle, you know, like a lot of things that you said today, I was like, okay, I'm gonna like write it down to my notebook and just remember like about the record labels, about how you present yourself, how confident you are in what you're doing, because like if you're not believing yourself, no one believe in you. No. Just we are the first and only one person who have to do that. I hope that you will back to LA soon, because I feel that we have a million topics that we have to discuss too. You're a very, very interesting person. You're very like rich inside. Can I say like that? Like rich?
I like it. I will go for it.
Yeah.
I'm rich, honey.
I'm rich, honey. Where is my food? I wish you the very, very good show in March. Wish you a good festival in August in Elements, and I hope to come to New York to support you. I love New York. My cousin lives there, so I can come. I can come. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for everything. And do you want to say something?
One more thing. Yes, can I do one more thing? We just cannot be stopped. Yes. The whole team was already waving the flag of like, you need to be done.
We're gonna sleep.
So yes, tell. I would love to invite your audience to something.
Yes.
Yes. I really want to share what I learned in my journey as a DJ with women, specifically non-binary, gender fluid folks. And I am hosting a free DJ course. And I am very inspired by sharing what I learned. I'm very inspired in creating safe spaces for gender diverse humans and for women, because I think it's so important. I've been in those situations where I was trying to learn how to DJ and I wasn't the most comfortable. And I've also been in communities where it was, a little bit odd to start learning. So I wanted to provide that space and that platform for everyone. I would love to share the link with your people, and they're welcome to join. It's free of charge.
So how is it? It's like the online course, or how does it
Yes.
work?
So I'm basically doing an online course where I'm teaching you how to DJ for free, because I think being in touch with your artist journey is one of the most important things you can do.
You still accept the donation?
Send Venmo.
Please. Venmo.
Venmo is my love language.
Thank you so much. You're the best. Wish you the best music journey, and hope to see you soon.
Oh, thank you, honey.
The end.